Welcome to the Roth Show.
We're playing the Piper Club. It's in Rome. The Beatles played there. It's like the Cavern Club. In fact, it's not a cellar. It's more like a sewer. It's ancient Rome. This was probably ancient Roman irrigation or aqua, something for the baths or whatever. It's hot. It's steamy. The ceiling is low, and it's the late 70s. No more has to be said about that, okay? Everybody's John Travolta-ing and staying alive, and they got a disco ball, a huge disco ball. And they lower the disco ball, and they're gonna bring it up towards the ceiling as the song goes. This is considered production. It's Italian. It's in Roma. Everybody's smoking cigarettes. It's late 70s. The lights go out, the crowd is ready, and I get crouched down, and I'm gonna jump up and do the famous touch the toes, like so. Okay, let's go there. You all know that silhouette. Boom. I know that someday I'm gonna drive through in Las Vegas and it's gonna say legends, and you'll be able to tell the Beatles because of their haircuts, and you can tell Tina Turner because of the big wig in the 80s, and you're gonna see David Lee Roth touching his toes in a silhouette, and you'll know who I am. You'll know who I am by just a silhouette. Anyway, short victories, closely spaced. Small victories, closely spaced. A victory shortly, stick with me. So I'm ready to jump up, and they lower the mirror ball about 2 feet more than I thought. More than usual. They waited until it was dark to lower it. So it's literally right here. Okay? And I'm crouched, and I'm 23, and I mean in shape 23. I mean stay awake for 3 fucking weeks and you don't notice shit 23, okay, like this. And every ounce of that attitude, they go 1, 2, 3, the lights come on, and I launch, and with full blast, like fucking punching it out with a steam shovel, broke my nose on national Roman Italian TV. Man, when I divots in, I'm gonna lead enough light you could read a paperback states away. And boom, it looks like mixed martial arts, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. I was always more of an Andre fan. Boom! I don't care. I'm not stopping. I'm here for Rome. This and that. Oh man, good smears and everything. But wabi-sabi, okay. Remember, your hair is new barbarians, and and you're sleeping in your leather pants and your clothes, and you don't look any different on stage, Keith Richards style, than you do in the airports. It's just fucking great, right? Great show.
And I didn't take my hand off of my face until I stepped off the plane in Los Angeles about 18 hours later. And I got off. Should I keep it?
It's a little easier this way. So I step off the plane 18 hours later, like this, okay? Because in Italy, late 70s, I went to the hospital, the General Hospital, and the first thing I notice is there's a gurney from World War II. You know those little skinny rail-like wheels and those skinny little rails of that kind of, it was soldered together. It's a 1940s issue. And the doctor who's looking at me looks like I look on stage. It's all, plunging neckline, Tarzan at 126 beats, and he's literally holding a cigarette. And he says, you just got to check into the hospital for a few days.
So anyway, I step off. You want me to continue?
So I step off the airplane at LAX, get into the car, drive straight to San Gabriel Community Hospital, where I was working in surgery right out of high school. I've now already contributed significantly to the pediatric fund, or Van Halen has contributed to other funds at the hospital or whatever. So we're well known. And folks like us, show folks, we come with sometimes special requirements and or unique injuries, just like a racehorse jockey or somebody who flies for a living. I'm sure people who work on the railroads have their own specific kind of circus folks, have their own kinds of injuries. And I go racing to the hospital, and every specialist is there where to see, because I got a lot of people depending on me. It's not a question of, how do I look? In fact, the more beat up I look, we call that character. We call that personality. You saw my dog, Russ. My favorite dog is the one with a piece of the ear missing and the gung-ho attitude. It reminds me of me. My favorite genes are not perfect. You've heard me discuss this, okay? So when, there's scars like this and stuff, we'll track them all, okay? As to what happened, leave them. It makes the jacket look cool. And with that in mind, we check in and they're going to put some stitches in the nose and they pack it up, whatever. And walking around in 1979, those yellow plugs that you put in your ears when you're drilling something, or maybe you go shooting and you have those little yellow plugs. Well, in 1979, somebody with a Tarzan haircut and 2 of those plugs in his nose for 3 weeks just meant that you finally had to go to Beverly Hills and, get some things fixed. Nobody would question if you walked into Cantor's Delicatessen with 2 plugs sticking out of your nose. They just figured you either got a card from the judge or your doctor. Get fucking well now.
Okay, man, I'm fine. It's a little bent, but it hasn't really affected my voice.
Cut to, I walk out of the hospital and I've got stabilizing tape that reaches just like so, all the way across the top of the bridge of my nose. And if you go on YouTube, I'm certain you'll be able to find these photos. This is well photographed. Nobody saw me walking out of the hospital, but it had long, big pieces of stabilizing tape. And I don't know, just because of the way my head is shaped or something, certain parts swelled and it looked kind of cool. I had a great big bandage, that was coming like so. And it looked kind of American Indian, sort of Comanche. Sort of Hiawatha Rotha, right? And in a time that was just convergent on Adamant and the new pirate, whatever it was, it just kind of fucking looked cool. And I got on the airplane with 2 big black eyes, okay? Not like, I'm not being insensitive. I mean 2 big black eyes. And with my Hiawatha Rotha tape, okay? Fuck yeah. Hiawatha Rotha, fuck yeah. And when I stepped off the plane, it was at the very last second to the Pink Pop Festival in Holland. This is now today one of the oldest, if not the oldest and most popular live outdoor times 900 million of your closest friends. I'm going to be performing at the Pink Pop Festival in about 2 weeks or a week from the time that you hear this story, okay? And when I stepped off that plane in 1979, I think it was, 78, 79, like that, when I stepped off that plane, all of the press was there. And everybody, because they didn't know, Van Halen was one of the top bill. We'd sold millions. We were the new flavor. And it doesn't hurt that Eddie and Alex are Dutch. All right, whoa. Here we go. Like, whoa, how many times you see that kind of fucking unicorn, especially when they can play and go like that and it has a drum major like me. So I step off that plane and it's full presidential issue, with the photographers and Mr. Roth, over here, Mr. Roth, and so forth as I'm walking by and I've got the paint and everything. And they gather around and they just start making assumptions because nobody really knew about the injury. This is in the days when you had to take a whole bunch of quarters, put them literally into the payphone and sit there, and every 7 minutes a voice would go, please deposit another 50 cents. And that's how you do it on the road, okay? So just calling up and going, nah, he's gonna be okay, we're on the plane. You had to find a phone that you could call transnational and then get to the airplane. And we only had enough money, I was with the road manager, to call the airline people and then get to the airport. So nobody knew until we were already on that plane that we were going to make it to the Pink Pop Festival. And everybody just assumed I'd done some oversleeping rock star shit, which I kind of played. I let that rumor go. And when they stepped off, they saw, whoa, Hiawatha Watha in a fucking bar fight. Whoa. And who am I to get in the way of a good rumor? Ladies, make yourselves at home.